You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
What a beautiful day for horses in the morning.
You are listening to the #1 horse podcast in the world. Here is your entertaining look at the horse world and the people in it.
Well, good Wednesday morning, everybody. I am Glenn the Geek in Ocala, Florida.
And I'm Jamie Jennings in Norman, Oklahoma. You're listening to Horses in the Morning on the Horse Radio Network for Wednesday, February 4th, episode 3877, brought to you today by Chewy Equine. Happy National Girls and Women in Sports Day, and good morning, horse people.
And you know what? That describes about 95% of our audience right there.
We are women in sports.
That's right. So happy day to all of you. Today, coming up on the show, we have another mystery guest. I'm really liking these mystery guests. And I'm only going to give you some clues. You're going to have to wait till the guest is on, and then we're going to give you more clues to see if you can guess this. So everybody, right now, I don't care where you are in the barn, driving your car or whatever, if you bend a Rolex, raise your hand. All right, I see a lot of you raising your hands. All right, so if you're raising your hands, you bend a Rolex anytime in the last, what would you say, Jamie, about 20 years?
Yeah.
You're going to have seen this person. But I guarantee you don't know his name. But yeah,
I don't know his name.
But everybody, would you agree with me that everybody at Rolex knows who he is and what he does? They just don't know his name.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay, good. Well, then we're going to meet that person a little later in the show. Plus, we have a list or two for you and some mighty weird news coming up in the Auditor Post Show. We have no idea what we're going to talk about, but that usually makes the best post shows. Oh, so what's the one thing that we've been scaring ourselves with? I mean, there's a lot of things when it comes to horses, but the one thing they keep saying, it's coming closer, it's coming closer, it's coming closer, it's going to get here eventually.
No, that can't be. It can't be. Don't say it.
A horse at an equine import quarantine facility, guess where, in Florida, has tested positive for New World Screwworm. So what
is that different than Old World Screwworm?
This is the one they're worried about.
Ugh.
So what happened is this horse comes in. It was out of Argentina, which Jennifer, I looked everywhere to see if it was a jumper, going to Wellington or Ocala or what. We think it's coming out of Argentina. Our guess, and this only guess, is a polo pony.
I was going to say, if it's Argentinian, it's probably a polo pony.
Well, the people at the quarantine facility should be awarded a medal because apparently this horse had a slight cut, and they noticed larvae in the cut. They noticed it. They obviously cleaned it out, had it tested, and their test showed, guess what, screwworm. So they sent it to a second testing lab to double check, and sure enough, it was screwworm. This is the first known case to make its way into the United States. Now, fortunately, it never got out of the isolation quarantine facility. And apparently at this quarantine facility in Florida, they have an insect-proof stall. So they put them in this sealed container, basically.
Poor horse. It's like, what did I do wrong? So
they cleaned it really well. They put heavy-duty topical ointments on it and systemic medications. Guess which one? Because this is used to kill everything in the world.
Ivermectin,
yes,
baby.
That's correct. They said they put it on to kill any remaining hitchhikers. So it's still in quarantine, and once they determine that they got no more little critters hanging around, they're just going to leave it go, and it can go on its merry way. But so they're calling.
Wouldn't the other horses that traveled with it to potentially have it, or is it only in a wound?
I think they're in a wound. It's larvae, so that's why they noticed it. Thank God they noticed it, right? So this is what would have happened if they hadn't noticed it. If they hadn't noticed it, this horse was called a sentinel. That means the first one, right? It's kind of like patient zero. And if they hadn't caught it, those larvae would have hatched, and they would have turned into flies. And those flies would have then gone out, and that's how it would all started. And you've got to remember that screwworm has a very high fatality rate when it's not caught, which is what they're worried about. And to the point where Texas governor has already declared a state of emergency. It's not even in Texas yet, but he's like preparing, he's like making sure everybody's on alert about it.
Well, it's cattle too. I mean,
Yes.
so it's not just horses.
It's not just
so.
horses. I don't know if people get it. Did we asked that question? I don't remember what the answer was.
You did a whole thing on Screwworm, but I don't remember.
I can't remember
I wasn't paying
either.
attention.
We maybe ought to play that one again here soon so we all remember. But yeah, so I'm glad they caught that one because I happen to live here. And okay, more than likely it was heading to Wellington. Can you imagine with the price of horses in Wellington if that had gotten loose down there? Whew. Anyway, so we're hoping that that's the only one, and we're not going to see that again for a while. That's what we're wishing. But anyway, ground zero, Florida once again.
Shocker.
I sent you a story. We're not going to do it. Weird news. Where they brought in this fish from the Amazon to go into one of these fishing places. And apparently it's like a very destructive fish. And I'm like, why are we bringing things in? Things come here naturally to Florida that want to kill us. I
saw that like these iguanas that are falling out of the sky in Florida,
Yes.
They want you to catch them all and they will be euthanized. And I'm not comfortable with that. But these are like invasive iguanas. I don't know. They're so cute.
There are
a
a group of iguanas down near Miami that are invasive iguanas and apparently eat everything in sight and cause all kinds of havoc. And guess who? They were brought in as pets and then released, of course, just like the pythons.
I had an iguana in high school and that thing only ate like lettuce. So it's fine. They're fine.
We happen to like all our little lizards, but
Yeah.
we only get lizards about 2 inches long. We don't get a foot long iguanas here. I think the cats have a field day with the lizards, actually. Maybe that's why we're not seeing as many. All right, Daily Winnie time. So I have a special Daily Winnie. There's no birthdays today, by the way. It's unusual, but we didn't have any. So I'm going to give it to my friend Chrissy Joy. We've talked about her here on the show. She's been on our show before, and I talked to her last week for quite a while. Was good getting caught up. But she was recently in New York at the Golden Paws, and that is kind of like the Golden Globes for pets. So it's this whole thing where all these people get dressed up and there's all kinds of awards for pets. Well, she, if you remember right, does dogs in movies and TV shows. She's been in a bunch of movies and TV shows and Tonight Show and Good Morning America and all of those. And she does a lot of trick competitions and things like that. Well, she was there and they had her do the main act on stage during the show. So congratulations to Chrissy. I know she's worked hard all of these years to get to the point where she is with her puppies, and she's always got new puppies in training. But you're going to see a couple movies come out this year. I'll be sure to highlight them that her dogs are in as well. So we're very proud of her. She actually lived with us for a while when we were in Lexington, Kentucky. She lived at the house for about a year with us and got to know her really well. But she's a good egg, and I just wanted to congratulate her on the show.
Well, my Daily Winnie goes out to all of the listeners who are just contributing to the massive. I love it. So I mentioned the other day, I think on Monday, that I was horse shopping, and the range of horses that I'm like shopping for is very, very broad. So I just want something fun. I want something safe, relatively safe, because, I rode enough fun, exciting horses. And it has to be a gelding. So that's pretty much where we're going. Just don't have enough space for I want to have my horses out my big pasture, and I don't have enough big pasture for mares and geldings to be separate. And I have a bunch of horny geldings. So it has to be a boy. It just keeps the peace. And Butter still isn't castrated. So I'm trying to keep that in mind. Thank you everybody for sending me horses.
Well,
keep doing it. It's
I'm
awesome.
going to help you later in the show. Horse Illustrated put out a list of the breeds that are trending right now based on popularity, versatility, and market demand. So we're going to see
know me. I am all about the trends.
We're going to see which one of these that you want ads for, okay?
Okay, cool.
We'll qualify that a little later in the show. Hey, you know how everybody's using the AI thing to do their own images, their self-portraits, and everybody's posting them on Facebook?
Lots of people doing like Lisa Frank horse pictures, which I just love.
Well, I did one for us, and I submitted pictures of us, and I asked it to put us in a barn. Some of these, by the way, that people are doing are incredible. The one I asked for, I'm going to get your opinion on it.
Okay, what did you type in to get this picture?
All I typed in was, here is us. We're podcasters. We do a horse podcast. Put us in a barn with horses doing the show with some microphones. That's all I said. And this is what came out. And It was after I had searched for Screwworm, by the way. So that also made an appearance in this picture. So I don't know. Can you describe the picture?
Okay. It looks like we are two people sitting at a table in a brown wooden room. And I want you to just understand this is what life is like for me, because we're sitting down and our feet aren't touching the ground, which is what I hate in chairs, by the way.
I've never had that problem, by the way, but mine aren't touching the ground.
No, you never
either.
have. And you look incredibly handsome in this
I was just going to say, they did a good job with me, I think. And you look pretty hot yourself, actually, in this picture.
I know. Look at how big my boobs are. It's awesome. So anyway, we're sitting in this brown room. There's like a window behind us, and we have a clear view of the solar system in this window. Flying all around the room. I said flying because they're Pegasuses, tiny miniature Pegasuses. Pegasuses, I don't know. Wearing headphones like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Pegasi that are flying around the room. There's a jar and it's labeled Screwworm, but Screwworm is actually spelled wrong.
I noticed that too. And it has an actual creature of some sort in the jar.
And for some reason, why are we wearing like 1940s World War II aviation goggles?
There's that. And then if you notice, there's a random hand that's holding an iPad up in the upper left-hand corner, just floating in space.
I didn't see that. It's showing it to one of the Pegasi.
And apparently there's jars of what we think are butterbeer that we're drinking on the table. And then we're plugged in. Our mics aren't even plugged in, by the way. But what is there is a very ancient, looks like retro electrocution machine that we're supposed to be plugged into. I don't know.
Your mic is plugged in, but unfortunately, yeah. So it comes from the microphone, goes down, and it's plugged into your butt.
Yours just goes into the Screwworm jar.
Yeah, I know. Oh. We're all going to die.
Anywho, I'm going to post this as our picture today. It is. Then the other thing is, I didn't tell it anything about you. Other than we're the hosts. And it has the title here, Farming and Flight. How did it know that you're Flyover Farm?
I don't know, but it's all weird.
Tell it that. Okay, I don't know how this is.
What are these like dials and things on the wall?
I don't know.
I don't get it. I
don't know, but I do want one of those. Tell me you wouldn't have one of those little Pegasus things in your house if you could. They're so
I would
cute.
have all 7 of them.
They're really cute. All right. Well, we don't have miniature flying horses right now, so we'll have to just count that one for an AI flub. Something happened here in Florida. Remember I told you that they were trying to put a bill through that would take and segregate the gambling from racing at the racetracks? Would decouple them, they're calling it. Well, there was a bill in that said that it wouldn't allow that to happen for 5 years. So in other words, we're going to do the decoupling, but you can't get rid of the racetrack for 5 years. That was the bill that was put through. All of a sudden, like a couple minutes before it went to the House floor for a vote, they took out that 5-year thing. So now it went to a vote, and hasn't been voted all the way through yet, but this is what's out there, that effective immediately, they could ditch the racetrack. If this goes through, then we're going to see Gulfstream and probably Tampa Bay Downs go away. They're just going to go away. Their racetracks will end, and they'll just do gambling.
And Gulfstream is very bougie.
It's a nice track. I've been there. It's a nice track.
Yeah.
It's in a very wealthy area down there near Palm Beach. That's
area. Crazy because the thoroughbred industry, if you like, I go up to Remington Park when I'm doing my pulsing and stuff, and I look around and there are thousands of people employed.
Oh, yeah.
Not even just the riders, the stall cleaners, the grooms, the hot walkers. There's so many people employed by racetracks. And the thoroughbred industry in Florida is huge.
Well, it's the second largest. But not anymore. Apparently that's decreasing now that all the farms are getting sold off around Ocala. Stronach just sold his for $63 million. Adena Springs is now gone. It's going to be a housing development. Big surprise. So that's gone. That just sold for $63 million.
Good Lord.
Anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up. I know some of our listeners don't like racing, and you're probably cheering. And then some are realizing that if this happens all across the country, we're in trouble. Because I think that the gambling was one of the things that was keeping racing going. Do they have slots or tables or anything at the one you go to?
Oh yeah, Remington has, it's like, that's like the second floor is a casino. Now I think it's just all slots, but it is a casino.
Would Remington go away if they decoupled it and said you could get rid of racing? It would go away, wouldn't it?
Probably, yeah, because that's what has breathed life into the racetracks, was having the addition of all of those the gambling casinos. So it definitely has helped, and it would be very sad because like I said, especially at Remington, it is a community of people that all know each other, all work together. Just Scott's barn alone, the trainer that I work with, and there's 20 employees in just that barn, 25 employees in just that barn. Yeah. And it's like they're all their family. These people live in the barn, that's like their life. So that would be tough.
I think it's sad, and it's part of that slippery slope, that snowball rolling down the hill that we talked about 15 years ago. That some of this goes away, and then more goes away, and then all of a sudden they're coming after us.
And I'd be out of a job.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. All right, let's do this. Let's talk about Chewy, and then we're going to go to our mystery guest.
Okay, cold mornings, shorter days, and extra layers. Winter barn life looks a little bit different, but Chewy helps make it easier. From feed and supplements to blankets, hoof care, and prescriptions, get everything your horse needs delivered straight to your barn with fast, free shipping on orders over $49, and auto ship that keeps essentials arriving on time. You can skip the supply run and make the most of every day at the barn. For life with horses, there's Chewy. Shop now at chewy.com/equine.
Well, Jamie, it is time for our next mystery guest. And as I said at the beginning of the show, if you've been to Rolex or the Kentucky 3-Day event at some point in decades, you probably have seen this person. You probably don't know his name, but everybody that has been to that show has seen this person. So I'm going to ask this person a series of questions, and we're going to see how long it takes you at home to guess who it is. So, mystery guest, what was your first year at Rolex?
My first year was 2006.
And so your first year was 2006 at Rolex. And that's when I think I met you for the first time, was in 2006. I happened to be working with Bit of Britain at that time. So I will just give a clue. I'll give another clue here. The tent I was working in was not too far from the tent you were at. Another clue.
That's right.
Did you know what you were getting into when you went there?
That's a good question. So I did. And when you know what it was that I was doing there, some might say that it makes me even stupider than I might look doing it.
Okay, you were promoting an item. And I kind of remember this from that first year you guys were there. Do you remember how many you sold that first year?
Well, I only remember that it was enough to pay our bar tab, which was a substantial bar tab. And that's probably why I don't remember the numbers.
I kind of remember, because I was working for Bit of Britain at the time, that you guys sold hundreds of these. And what I kind of remember is that year was a bad year weather-wise, which helped with the sales. So that's what I vaguely remember from all those days. Did you have any idea that you would become a talking point of the show?
I hoped we would get noticed, but I didn't. I didn't know that we would become such a talking point, and I'm very happy to have become such a talking point.
And how many Kentucky 3 days have you been to?
2026 will be my 21st year being involved.
Okay, so go ahead and tell everybody who you are.
I am Danny Hulse, and I am the GM for Dubarry of Ireland's US operation.
You are the man in the bucket.
He's the man in the bucket.
Nobody knows your name. You're just the man in the bucket.
That's it. I am the man in the bucket.
And he was always the best dressed guy at Rolex too. He always was looking rather smart and dapper, had the accent, had everything. But yet I would guess that 99% of people didn't know your name was Danny.
You're absolutely right. I'm the guy in the bucket, or bucket boy, or the Dubarry guy.
Yeah, I always knew you as the Dewberry guy. Yeah. So I would like to pose a challenge to anybody listening. This year, let's give Danny a name. Let's give him his name back. Every time you walk by Danny at the Kentucky 3-Day this year, you have to go, Danny! Okay, so everybody's going to learn your name. It is my goal.
Jamie, you've either started something here that's going to be great
or terrible.
Or not. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it either way.
Danny, are you still the guy in the bucket, or have you hired somebody to replace you in the bucket now?
So, I mean, you'd think after 20 years I might have at least graduated to a hot tub. I still do stand in the bucket at the larger events, but very lucky to have a great team here now, and other much better looking, younger people standing in the bucket at a lot of the events that we do here. We do about 60 events here in the States. So I will still be in the bucket in Kentucky this coming April. And so you can shout my name at me if you come by.
Danny, I got a question here. Okay. Yes. So like if I stand too long in one place, my lower back starts to hurt. What is the fallout from you standing in a bucket of water for days at a time? I guess several times a year. Like what I always feel so bad. I'm like, somebody get the guy a chair.
You know, I always say it's better than doing real work, which happens behind me usually on the booth, where the team are actually doing the really hard work of looking after the customers and selling the product and fitting the boots. So I think I get away. I think I get away with it. I get off sort of scot-free from the real work, is what I'd say.
But so do you have aches and pains at the end of the night, or you're like, oh my God, I've been standing in one place for like 10 hours? Or is the Dewberry boot just that comfortable?
I think we train really heavily for this work. You build up a tolerance. I mean, people talk about the Olympics, but there's a real bit of training that goes into this. No, in all seriousness, you build up a tolerance. The boots are actually great as well, of course, which helps. But I think when you first start doing it, you'd notice it. But after a while, you build up a tolerance.
Danny, I got to ask you, you've been out there in every kind of weather. I mean, rain, sleet, snow, tornadoes. One year we were evacuated for. You remember that year, Danny?
I do.
Yeah. You've been out in all kinds of weather. You must have some stories from being in the bucket.
Well, I think it's never a good idea to be the guy standing in the bucket of water with an umbrella when you've got a thunderstorm. It's never. There have been times where you have to keep moving so the water doesn't turn to ice. There are some stories for sure, I'd say, but I think we've had lock-ins where we've just closed the front of the booth up when it's been full and sheltered from the rain and had a party in there. I don't think we've had to fully evacuate during the event, although there was a year I think we were supposed to, and I would not recommend not evacuating, by the way. When you're told to, you should. But yeah, there have been some interesting weather incidents in the bucket for sure. But we make clothing and footwear for every weather, so it's not a problem.
Okay, but now I got to ask you the next question, because you were a handsome guy standing in the bucket. You must have had girls flirting with you all day long, and you're from Ireland.
Well, Irish company, but I will say I'm for my sins. I'm originally from England, and I always say that's why they make me stand in the bucket. I think it's my penance. But I don't know what you're talking about, Glenn. I'm in all seriousness, I'm a happily married family man and have been for many years. So I enjoy speaking to everybody from my bucket.
How long have you been married?
I was married in 2008.
Okay, so there's 2 years of you trying to slay some chicks in a bucket because you've been there since 2006. So come on.
Did you meet her while you were standing in a bucket? Please tell me she just came up to you and that's how you ended up getting married.
I met my wife at the Washington International Horse Show, Mary, and she was making custom riding apparel in the hunter jumper market. And I had met her boss a few weeks earlier at Capital Challenge, and it was love at first sight.
Wow, that is cool.
Were you in the bucket when you saw her?
I was setting up our booth. I was only inches from the bucket.
Wait, do you have a favorite show? You've done so many shows. Do you have one like favorite show that stands out for something that happened?
It's hard not to love the Kentucky 3-day event because it's a very special event, and it was my first, and it's always felt like a bit of a home away from home, even before I lived here in the States. But I mean, there have certainly been some favorite incidents that get talked about a lot. One of actually the very early shows I did in the UK for the brand. I was standing in my bucket at the Royal Windsor Horse Show. I think it was my second event. And I looked over to my left and I saw an elderly lady walking towards me. And I thought, gosh, she looks familiar. And then I looked again and I suddenly realized it was Queen Elizabeth. And so I wasn't quite sure what to do. So I think I half bowed and half curtsied. And then I stuck my hands behind my back. And she sort of pointed at my bucket and asked me if I'd been in there for the past 2 days because it was the second day of the show. She had a good laugh at me, and I've got a brilliant photograph of her pointing at me in the bucket and laughing, which is one of my favorite moments.
Oh my God! Have that blown up? Hang that on your wall.
But I have to say, out of all the moments that people like to talk about in the bucket, my favorite moments are seeing the same customers at the same events come back for 20 years, and you really grow to know these people. There are people that came onto the booth with their parents as children who are now coming onto the booth at that same event bringing their children, and that's kind of that's really special.
Well, by the time the World Equestrian Games came around in 2010, half the people there were wearing Dewberry boots. I mean,
that's right.
You guys you came over and just took over the market. There was nothing really like it here in that whole waterproof thing. And, they were not cheap. I mean, it wasn't like it was the cheapest boot around, but they sold because they worked and they were comfortable and they worked. And we had some horrendous years at Kentucky. And the more it rained, the better you guys did. So, congratulations on the success of the company, too.
Well, thank you. And of course, I think what it comes down to is Dewberry is a heritage company. We've been around since 1937. And at the core of what we do, we're all obsessed with the product and with the quality of the product. So we make something that's functional, it's well made. Everything you can do to make it better is always done. And we really do take pride in that still. And it's an unusual thing, I think, today. And you're right, they're not the least expensive boot on the market. But I think people, understand from lots of points of view, economically, sustainability, that when you buy something that's well made, it lasts.
Does the Welly company over there in England have your picture on a dartboard?
Possibly. I don't think so. I think, I think there's a lot of great products out there, and we're proud of what we do and what we make, and we always try to keep an eye on ourselves and not worry about what other people are doing.
Well, you've done it very well. You guys have been around for almost 100 years now, and you see your booths everywhere. So you've done very well being here in the United States. And then I saw, too, that your offices are in Oxford. Well, I used to work for Bit of Britain for a number of years, and they were in Oxford. So I know, do you go to the Oxford Diner? Because please tell me it's still there.
It's still there. It's still there. I do go there on occasion. We have some great little places here in Oxford, Pennsylvania.
I still love that diner. And it was an old-fashioned diner, Jamie. It was like the silver one. It was a great diner in Oxford. Yep, I remember. I know exactly where you're at. And congratulations on all your success. You're the boss now, aren't you? Aren't you the big boss here?
Yeah. So I'm the president of the U.S. division for DeBarry, so I'm the guy who is responsible for anything that happens, good or bad.
Well, if you see him, what are you supposed to yell, Jamie?
Daddy!
I look forward to it.
Thank you for being our mystery guest and for being such a good sport. And it was good to see you at WISA last week.
It's been great chatting to you both. Thank you.
Well, Jamie, while I was at ADA and WISA last week, I ran into our old friends who I haven't seen in a long time at Wintec Saddles. I haven't seen them in person in a while. You know, we've done commercials for them over the years, and you and Jennifer ride in your Wintec saddles and have had them for probably 20 years. And they have a new saddle that's come out, and I wanted them to tell us all about it. So here's the interview I did at the trade show. Hannah, it's so good to see you again.
It's great to see you, Glenn.
It's been a few years since I've seen you at a trade show.
I know. It's really exciting to be back. We're really having a great time.
I think we met you guys when you were with Weatherbeat way back. I don't know how many years ago it is. It's got to be 10 to 15 years.
A few decades, at least, at this point, for sure.
So we're kind of doing Where Are They Now this year, and you guys definitely are included in that because we've talked about your saddles, and my wife rides in your saddles, and Jamie rides in your saddles. Everybody rides in your saddles.
Yes.
And I know we've had a ton of listeners buy your saddles over the years.
Absolutely.
So what's new with Wintec?
Well, Wintec has been a really exciting brand for us for many years. Our Wintec riders are some of the most passionate, fun-loving, and just get out there and get her done riders that I personally know. I've ridden in Wintec long before I worked with Wintec, and it continues to get better and better over time. Brand new in the last year has been an addition to our Australian stock saddle side, which has been an extremely popular saddle for leisure riders, trail riders, polo cross. And
I always viewed it's kind of halfway between English and Western. It's kind of halfway there.
It really is a nice bridging point for people that want a little bit of everything and best of both worlds. And this is our Wintec 500 HB.
Okay, you guys, you have to check this out. This is completely different look.
It's very, very cool. So this particular saddle is our hybrid stock saddle. So it combines a Western panel with our surge felt covering, but with our care cushions inside. So all of the comfort that your horse has known and loved with the care cushion system in our saddle since 2002 and the adjustability of the easy change gullet system comes back into this saddle with a more Western styling and feel for the rider.
And I don't know, this one looks wide. Is this meant for the heftier horses?
It absolutely can go wide.
Okay.
It can also adjust quite narrow. We've had horses anywhere from big draft crosses to real slender thoroughbreds, mine, in this particular saddle. And that's one of the things that stayed consistent with Wintec through all these years, is that adjustability, that it can, with proper saddle fit and guidance, of course, hopefully work for a variety of horses and riders.
And it has the large knee rolls in the front.
Yeah, these are the pulley pads, and they are so supportive without being restrictive. It's really important, I think, for any saddle, but specifically a stock saddle, that you want to be secure but not locked in. You still need to be able to adjust your movement to what's going on around you. But yeah, absolutely. Got to bend to the side to knock those branches out of the way, trail riding or out in the backwoods.
I mean, it just
really
looks like
exciting.
the kind of saddle you'd go out in all day. It's
Absolutely.
what it's made for. Right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. This is the comfiest couch that you'll sit on horseback, without a doubt.
I had Percherons, and this particular one you have here would fit my Percheron, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. These are a super popular choice for not only, like I said, trail riders, polo cross, because of the security. You can really bend back and forth. Mounted units, all over the country are in Wintecs, stock saddles and other Wintecs, and this is a really exciting addition to the range.
So if people go to the website, where do they go first?
Absolutely. So these saddles, you can view all of the product information, photos, details, including saddle measurements, on our website, wintecsaddles.us, and they are available for sale at a variety of retailers and saddle fitters throughout the country. Also on that website is a full list of stockists where you can find these.
And what are these new ones retail for?
So this saddle retails for $14.95.
Which is great because it's going to last you forever. I mean, I think this saddle my wife's riding in is one we got from you 14 years ago.
It's been a while. We need to get you something new. We got to get her into the upgrade.
She just uses it and it works, right?
It is the beauty of it. I love when people ask about things that are, the latest and greatest, but I also really genuinely enjoy hearing from riders that have had to come up and say, I've had this Wintec for 20 years and it's still going strong. That makes me the happiest because it speaks to the longevity of the product. It speaks to, the dedication that the riders have to our brand, and it's really lovely to hear.
Well, you have said thoroughbreds. Jamie retrains thoroughbreds off the track for adoption.
Yes.
And she uses her Wintecs all the time. And it's so funny because she said she uses the Wintecs because these horses, if they run into the rail or whatever, she's not worried about the saddle. Yet she also has had the same saddle for 12 years and it's been beat up.
It's definitely a durable product for sure. And again, I love to hear that.
All right. What's the website again?
wintecsaddles.us.
So I thought this list from Horse Illustrated they do every year, and they kind of look at social media, and they look at searches, and they look at Google searches, and they find the horse breeds that are trending based on popularity, versatility, and market demand. And they also take a look at what's for sale and all of that. They've done this every year for a long time. But I thought, seeing right now you're in this space in your head about looking at horses, that we would see which of these breeds you would consider. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So let's start at the bottom and work our way up. So these are the most trending breeds, starting at the bottom, the Equine, who we've talked about the Equine here on the show. I don't know how hard they are to find.
I was going to say, where would one find that exactly?
I don't know. And I'm kind of guessing that that's not going to go for $150, the Equine. I think that's going to be up there in price. So
I'm going to Google that and see.
Yeah, I don't know how many are for sale in the country. I'm assuming not a lot. We need to talk about them again. It's been a long time since we talked about the Equine. I don't even know how many are in this country. I don't even know if there's a group. I think we talked to somebody from overseas. That's the problem with doing this show for so long. We forget who we talked to. I know we talked about it, though. So let's cross out Equine just because they're probably hard to get one.
They do cost from 5,000. Now this is AI. They cost from 5,000 to 30,000, but prices can reach 100,000 or higher.
That's probably where they are right now.
Vague. That's very vague.
Yeah. All right. Warm Bloods, Dutch Hanoverian. So obviously they're popular. Obviously we're Olympic jumping, dressage, and all of that. But they're going very high right now on the auctions. Yeah, you're going to have a hard time coming across one. We have a lot of these where I live in Ocala, Gypsy Vanners. And we have a lot of listeners with Gypsy Vanners. So I can see why it's popular. Obviously, it's also popular with people who like to groom their horses incessantly.
I was going to say, lots of hair. Lots of hair.
I love how it's cited as the golden retriever of the horse world. That kind of fits, actually. So I think you don't want that much grooming. We're going to cross Gypsy Vanner off the list. I know you.
Yep. No, I'm good. So far, I'll take a Hanoverian. I want a Hanoverian for Christmas. Oh my God, who did that to me? Every time I hear that word, I think of that.
The Frisian is the next on the list. I thought this would be higher, judging by movies and TV, but apparently it's number 6 on the list. I love how they call it the Black Pearl of horses.
I will tell you that, no offense to anybody who has Frisians, that I would love. They're so beautiful. They're just the most beautiful. It fits that black, warm, bloody thing that I've always had going. But dear God, they're carriage horses in Holland. They are the most uncomfortable trot you've ever ridden. Just teeth chattering. I worked for a guy and my job was to warm up the horses and I wasn't allowed to post. And I had to warm up and I had to trot his Frisian for 20 minutes sitting trot. I don't think I've ever recovered. I think that's probably why I have lower back pain now.
All right, well, we'll cross the Frisian off the list. So far, we don't have one.
I'm not going to kick it out of bed. You know what I mean? Like, I'll still take one.
Yeah, I guarantee you they're not going for $150 either. Morgan. Now, a lot of our listeners have Morgans, and we had a listener write to us the other day that wanted you to try Morgans.
I would actually really love to try a Morgan.
They also are not for $150, I hate to tell you. Morgans have gone up
Are they
in price,
really
too.
expensive?
I think they're kind of in the medium expensive category, but they're good for driving and riding, which kind of makes them popular. And they're good size too.
I could get into the Morgan.
All right, Morgan,
I don't think I could show them all like high step and stuff like that.
All right,
but
all you Morgan people that can find one affordable for Jamie, we're adding Morgans to the list. That's the first one so far.
I want a dressage Morgan.
Appaloosa, known for its distinctive spotted coat. And of course, it's popular with everybody that doesn't know anything about horses, really like Appaloosas because they're pretty. But they're good for English and Western. They're good all around.
I've
just
actually
prejudiced.
seen a lot for sale recently.
Are they as high or are they?
Yeah, I mean, the ones that I look at are all like super trained. So yes, they are high, but just the thing, it's like the opposite of a Frisian or a Gypsy. They just don't have any tail. Bless them.
That's true.
Bless them.
I'm kind of prejudiced because of the Appaloosa we had to get one to buck everybody off. So
did you have a trouble one?
We had a troubled one. Would be great. Would be absolutely wonderful horse for anybody to ride until about halfway through the trail ride where it would do this duck out and leave everybody on the ground. That horse dumped everybody. And it was just out of the blue. You weren't expecting it because he was so calm. And then all of a sudden, to the side, you were on the ground.
I had a POA growing up that my parents bought me. This little insight to how my parents got me my first pony. They bought it in the newspaper, and it was one of those carousel ponies, where they put them in the walk in the circle. Yes. And they bought one of those.
Figuring it would be very calm and trained.
It'll be fine. That was the wild. I had her forever. And mind you, I did get it done. You couldn't tack her up, so I could only ride her bareback. And my dad would just throw me up and she'd take off at a gallop.
Because she wasn't in the little ring.
Snowflake, bless her.
She wasn't tied to the little machine.
Nope. She was a POA. She had no idea how to be driven. I ended up I would take baling twine and tie it to the halter that we had to leave on all the time because you couldn't catch her.
Well, you learned a lot with that pony.
Yep. And she was white, but when you hosed her off, she was Appaloosa underneath.
Arabian is next on the list, number 4, one of the oldest breeds, obviously, and good for, a lot of our listeners have Arabians too because they do endurance. That Arabians are good, but you know what? They ain't Arabians used to be. 30 years ago, they used to be the most expensive breed out there. I mean, you couldn't. The Arabians were going for horrendous money. It's changed a lot now, but I still think you're paying a few bucks for a good Arabian well-trained.
I've ridden enough Arabians. It's not what I'm looking for this time.
Okay, so we're crossing the Arabians off.
But I do love the Arabian. Like, don't hate on me. I think they're fantastic. Like, the cool thing about Arabians, like quarter horses, they can do everything. Just everything.
And they go forever. You can go forever.
And they go forever.
Yep. How about number 3 on the list, an American paint horse? Paints obviously are very popular because they're flashy and all of that. And I kind of put them in the same category like with Appaloosas and quarter horses. They're kind of all in that same vein. But you have a lot of grays already. Do you really want to take care of a paint?
Well, the cool thing about paints is they already look like they've rolled in the dirt. So really you can hide everything.
That's true. Good. Perfect.
That's just his marking.
All right. We're going to put paints on the list then.
I can do a paint. Okay. I can do a paint. Now, mind you, I'm also very scared of like navicular disease and all that. So you start throwing paints and quarter horses in, you got to make sure you do your due diligence.
Yeah, make sure it's not an overweight one. Now, number 2 on the list, which I'm happy to see because remember, this is based on popularity and versatility and market demand, is thoroughbreds. Aren't you happy to see that high on the list?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'd take another one if I already didn't have 47 of them.
So
I could take another one too, as long as it's fun.
And number 1 on the list is the one that's been number 1 on the list for the last 800 years. Or not that far, but probably 200 years in the United States, and it's the American quarter horse.
Quarter horse.
Yep, it's always been number 1 on the list. It's always it's the most popular horse in America. So, and I don't think you'd turn out a good quarter horse at this point.
I'm actually, spoiler alert, going to look at one today. A quarter, like I didn't think it was a quarter horse. I saw it and it's a dressage horse, and it looks like a Lipizzan, and it's a Perlino quarter horse.
What does that mean?
It's some sort of white yellow. It looks like an Akeltiki, but lip is on body. It's a big fat Akeltiki.
It's kind of mixed with 3 of our breeds today.
I don't know. I'm probably going to get a whole lot of emails about Perlinos and color. Please send them all to me. I need to be educated, but I'm going to go look at it today. It's local. So that was like a super bonus. It's like half an hour
where
away.
you live, that could be a bonus or a negative. I'm not
sure. Exactly.
All right. So 3 out of the 10 are on your list right now. There we go.
What did I go with? Morgan.
Paint, I put
quarter horse.
I put paint
Friesian.
in there. Quarter horse.
No.
I didn't put Friesian because you can't afford it. So I didn't put Friesian.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of horses I'd like to have that I can't afford. I mean, they top of the list. I should make a list of horses that I want that I can't afford.
You can enjoy your favorite equine videos all in one place with Ride TV, the ultimate equine streaming platform. The newly relaunched Ride TV has all the series you love, like Rockstar Vets and Mini Horses, plus top-tier training videos and event footage from barrelracing.com and Horse and Rider on Demand. Whether you're ready to relax with your favorite series, binge watch competition footage, or train with a world champion, subscribe to Ride TV today for only $19.99 to see where your ride takes you. Visit ridetvgo.tv to subscribe.
Let's go to weird news. We'll have some fun with that. How many do we have today? 4?
We'll go with, sorta. I'm going to mix it up for you. I'll tell you when it's over.
Time to learn why some days you're embarrassed to be part of the human race. In Jamie's Weird News.
That's right. It's the time of the week where we read stories from all over the world, basically. If you're ever looking through the news and you think, oh my God, that's so weird, email it to me, weirdnews@horseradionetwork.com, just like Tammy, Glenn, Lucy, Shelly, Carol, Betty, Kayla, and Brittany all did. So thank you guys very much. Now, we're going to focus on one general location in the world today, Glenn. Would you like to take a guess?
Florida.
We are going to start in Florida. You are right. Okay. This man should be in prison. Okay. Don't ever do this, because there was a guy, a Florida man, was sleeping at a bus station in St. Petersburg. Okay. So this guy, his name is Austin Simmons. He appeared to be passed out in the bus terminal. And there was a bus that was coming. And so this other guy walks up to him and kind of like he's like, hey, are you okay? Do you need to get up and catch that bus? Well, apparently Austin Simmons is not a morning person. Jumped up out of the bed he had created himself, got so mad and walked towards the man and hurled. What do you think he threw at him, Glenn?
I don't want to know. It's Florida. I don't want to know.
Well, before I tell you what he threw at him, I will tell you that he was arrested and is now being held without bond for felony battery. Now, this is not the first time he's been in trouble for felony battery, so I think they just went strong. And if I saw this guy, I would cross the street. He's so scary looking. Now, what did he hurl at the man who tried to help him and wake him up that put him in prison?
I don't want to know.
Opened ketchup packet.
Well, it's better than what I was predicting.
Why would you get arrested for throwing an open ketchup packet? So when they called the police and he's like, he threw something at me. What did he throw? An open ketchup packet. And he says that the packet was leaking and it stained his jacket and it leaked onto the ground. And he's really upset.
The police were just sick of this dude. He's caused this problem before.
Exactly. By the way, Simmons did say, I didn't throw it at him. I was just giving it to him. Giving it to
That's
him.
better than what I thought it was going to be honest. Much better.
What did you think? Something dirty?
Yeah, literally dirty.
Okay, well, let's go to the next story.
Yeah,
then.
because
we'll
I can't
get
get that out of my head now. I didn't even see his mugshot.
It's scary. All right, so the next story is, yes, that's right, Florida. Okay, so there is a Florida man in Polk County, and he decided that he was going to go in and rob a construction zone. So he goes into the construction zone. His name is Matthew. He's 39. He lives in Altamonte Springs. I love that Florida just gives you all the information. It's short of his address. I know everything about him. So he drove into the construction site and he was going to start to rob. But like he got seen pretty quick driving into the construction zone. And so the sheriffs came out and the deputies approached him. They walk up to the car, with their flashlights like, hey, what are you doing over here? That's when this is Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd said, that's when we noticed that he was wearing a red lace bra with prosthetic silicone breasts. Like he had taken these silicone things and put them on, suction them to his chest. And then over that, he put a lacy red bra. And they're like, hey, get out of the car. Step out of the car. And then Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd says, that's when we noticed he was wearing a red lacy G-string. Showing off the boys. That's the quote. Showing off the boys. You know what I mean? That's the quote from the sheriff. Showing up the boys, you know what I mean? So they have to treat it fairly cautiously because obviously there's a man about to steal stuff at a construction site wearing a G-string, exposing everything, and has a red lace bra with prosthetic silicone breasts.
Wear when you want to steal construction equipment? Isn't that your choice?
I mean, I was just wondering, did he have boots on or like high heels?
Because there's nails.
It didn't cut to that. Well, here's the thing. They're like, what are you doing wearing those clothes? And he's like, I'm going to a costume party. And then they said, where's the party? And that's when he stopped talking. And they said, put your hands up against the car. And so they go to frisk him.
I guess they don't have to. There's not much frisking needed, right?
And under his lace bra and his silicone breasts, just see what I'm doing with my hands right now. Under his silicone breasts, there was a gun.
Really?
He has been arrested and is gone to jail.
God. We'll carry guns anywhere nowadays in Florida.
The quote from the sheriff, can you imagine? Oh, apparently he got very mad, very angry. He said, can you imagine? He's mad at us for trying to find out why he's wearing lace bras with guns and G-strings. It was ugly. It was so ugly.
By the way, Sheriff Grady is well known in Florida. Who
is
was that sheriff you had in Arizona? I forget his name.
Joe Arpaio,
yes.
Sheriff Joe.
He's our Sheriff Joe. He comes out and does these press conferences and just rips these crooks a new one. He is so graphic. He is our Sheriff Joe. He's our version.
I love that. His quotes were so funny.
Well, he does it every day. He does a press conference every day where he talks about who's been arrested the previous day and just throws them under a bus. He's just something else. He's well known here in Florida. Everybody looks for his comments.
That's awesome. I love that. Now I will look for it more. Zaccarino, the guy who was, in the thing, was charged armed trespassing with a firearm, loitering, prowling, and resisting an officer. So that guy has had better days.
He didn't get any charges for his wardrobe? No bad wardrobe malfunctions?
Apparently not. No? But I'm hoping they gave him a jacket before they took him into prison.
It was cold here. I don't know.
That's why he was in his car. Oh, so have you had any iguanas fall out of trees? Like, it's all the news.
We don't have the big iguanas like they do in South Florida. That's where they're falling out of the trees.
And they fall out and they're like stiff.
Yeah.
But they're not dead.
No, they're just in like hibernation.
Well, I alluded to it earlier, is basically you're supposed to collect all these and then take them to wherever to the Fish and Game, who will then either relocate them or euthanize them. Well, that was not okay with Ryan Izquierdo, because he decided he was going to catch the cold stunned reptiles and take them home. And so gross. He harvested all the meat and started selling Florida Man pizza. That's what it's called at his North Palm Beach pizza restaurant called Buck's Coal Fired.
Oh my God, he actually has a pizza restaurant?
Oh yeah, he's a local trapper with a pizza place. And he said we were able to do good work and remove the iguanas and educate people, and it was just a great time. But he's now making iguana pizza called Florida Man Pizza. So I would expect you to go on down there. They're showing the pizza, and he's cut up the pizza. And I'm sorry, it's vegetarian. I don't even think normal people
I don't like
could look at
seafood,
this.
and I'm kind of thinking that tastes like seafood myself. I'm kind of yeah. I didn't. Is that illegal? I guess it's legal. He's doing it, right?
I don't know.
What would the health department have to say about that?
I don't know. I didn't dive any deeper.
I know that most of you don't think we have a health department, but apparently we do. I'm just kidding.
Florida Man Pizza coming up. Ding ding. Okay, now the weather around the country, like the whole country, has just been super weird. And so many of you sent me stories of animals that had been trapped in the snow or rescued from the snow and being trapped. So I decided I was just going to run through the headlines only, giving the animal and the location. Okay, so let's start here. Stranded horse rescued from frozen pond in Kentucky. 4 horses rescued after falling through ice on Michigan pond. Neighbors used paddleboard to rescue a man who fell through the ice. Apparently, he was just going to go do some ice fishing. Well, he was fished. 2 dogs rescued from frozen lake in Montana. Huntsville, Alabama, fire department rescues dogs that fell through ice. Authorities rescue dog from an icy pond in eastern Iowa.
A lot of dogs having trouble.
Oh, well, this isn't a dog. This will be fine. This is in Colorado because wildlife officials had to come out and rescue a bighorn sheep that fell into a frozen river in Colorado.
Jeez.
And Michigan, 4 horses get trapped in a golf course pond. What were they doing on the golf course?
Every horse's dream of lead on a golf course.
And then this one is in St. Louis. Another dog fell through the ice. And then, finally, let's go with dog and ice in St. Louis. And then a pet husky rescued from a West Michigan river. And then 2 icy pond rescues in central Arkansas. One is a dog, and the other one was a baby deer. And they saved him. Now, I will also tell you on the flip side, you guys don't do this because they're also on the side of that was like a billion stories about people dying trying to save animals while trapped in icy ponds. So please, if you see an animal trapped in icy pond, please just call the I don't know, police or something, call somebody, but don't do it yourself because there was also a lot of those stories, but I don't do those stories. So there you go. Just a fair warning, just letting you guys know, but enjoy your iguana pizza that you're going to have later, Glenn.
I'm stuck on whether that's legal or not. I don't know. I'm still stuck on that one. I don't know. All right, that's it for today. Thank you, everybody. Auditors, hang on. We'll talk about something in the post show. We have no idea what, but that probably makes it a good post show. So we will get to that in just a minute. We will be back here tomorrow with another episode. And then also, I think Mary and Jennifer are tomorrow. So Mary Kitzmiller will be here tomorrow. And then Friday, we'll have some really bad ads for you. We're going to be giving away prizes on Friday. So you have 2 days to get your ads into Jennifer@horseradionetwork.com to be eligible for the prizes. And then where can they send weird news for next week?
Weird news at horseradionetwork.com.
And if you want to find Jamie, go to Flyover Farm, Monty Roberts Certified Instructor on Facebook.
Yes, I'm on Facebook and you can see all the excitement. By the way, I did go on a trail ride yesterday and it was the snow is pretty much all melted, but it hadn't melted in the woods. So I posted a cool video of us walking through and there's snow. It was so fun. I felt like I was riding on like the Man from Snowy River, galloping along the top, except for I was walking through Oklahoma.
Well, enjoy your mud.
Yeah.
In another day or two. We'll see everybody.
All right. Bye.